Hey there YouTube, it's 118 Seth Shadow here again. Today I'm going to be posting a deck profile of my current Narukami deck for Vanguard. I just took this deck to 2 tournaments this past weekend and won them both. But after taking a loss in the Swiss of the first tournament, I decided to change up a little bit. Oh, this is the result of the deck I completely won with yesterday. So let's just go through, starting with the grade 0s. That's my starter, Spark Kid Dragoon. I just want it for consistency and getting my grade 3s. Also because I only run 7 grade 3s instead of the usual 8, so it adds to consistency there. Also, I just feel that Seishin is just not worth the effort, since it's only useful if you're going first, and only against specific decks. And it's not going to be that useful against anything except maybe Gold Paladins and Spike Bros now that Barkle can't be used as a starting Vanguard. And my trigger count is basically 4 draws, 4 heal, and 8 crit. No stands at all because this is Vermillion Aggro. Now for grade 1s. This is probably one of the MVPs, Desert Gunner Ryan. This card single-handedly has won me quite a few games in previous tournaments beforehand too. Just because of the fact that you can lock a 5k or even a 10k special interceptor for a game winner. It won me, this one particularly won me I think 2 games yesterday, and 1 game the day before. Red River, I run 3 of it. Photon Bomber Wyvern, the Vanguard booster basically for 10k boosting. When your opponent has 3 or more damage, I run 2 of it, since it can only boost the Vanguard. Helena, I run it in 2s right now, just because of keeping consistency with the deck. I run a single copy of Rai Rai, just in case I manage to pull it with Thunderbreak. Does for additional guarding from the opponent, or it can swing for game really easily. I run 4 perfect guards, Wyvern Guard Gold. Honestly, I really want to just keep it at 3, but with Gold Paladins, especially Azel out, right now it's just a necessity of 4 in my opinion. Moving on to grade 2s, 4 Thunderstorm Dragoon, 1 Death Scythe. After heavy debate with some other people and myself, I finally decided to cut 2 Death Scythe from this deck, because it's already counterblast heavy with Vermillion. So, I just made some changes and even adjusted my grade 1 and 2 balance because of this. The next one, Desert Gunner Shiden. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of controversy over it now because of that, but I like this card. It's grade 2, I know, and it's only got 9k power, but it's got the same ability as Ryan. So if you put it down, it can be a game winner. It won me a game yesterday as well, and I only just pulled it recently and just started testing it myself. Don't try to run too many of these though. That would be very cloggy and it'll reduce your attacking power. I run 3 Gardas. This is the unflipper for the damage zone. Basically, what I end up doing is Spark Kid first, ride into this thing, use Spark Kid's ability to get a grade 3, then unflip the damage. And the other grade 2 I run is Hex Cannon Wyvern. This one is basically this guy. It'll get 3k power when it attacks and your opponent has 3 or more damage. Basically, someone had told me I shouldn't even be running this thing, and should be running Shield Blade Dragoon. I don't know what he was thinking, because Shield Blade is still too weak. I know it's an special interceptor, but at the same time it's not going to hit for very high. This is an aggro deck. You really want to start hitting hard. And this thing has pushed for a lot of extra damage or extra guarding from my opponent in the past. And it's good as a standalone without boosters. Now, grade 3s. I run 4 Vermillion. Reason being, 11k power. that extra 1k prevents any of the 8k, 10k grade 3s from boosting all the way up to 20k when going for the Vanguard. So all I have to do is play a 10k to block it instead of a 15. Not to mention, the 11k is just really good for hitting as a standalone even in the rearguard circle. And naturally, its limit break is just purely awesome. Take out 2 of the attacking force units, and if your opponent just can't afford to lose them, they'll have to use up almost their entire hand to guard. And next turn they will be going for an all-out attack against you, and they'll probably lose. Then this one is another item of controversy among people I've spoken to. Most people tell me to run Breakthrough Dragon instead of this thing, but same reasoning as this. This guy is a good standalone. Just because of the fact he gets 2k whenever he attacks in the rearguard circle. And if you can't even get these guys, this guy as Vanguard will be hitting for 14k alone. So it can even hit Cross Riders as well by itself. The only downside, it can only attack the Vanguard, but that's really not a downside in this deck. You're trying to stop Interceptors so you can Thunderbolt them later. So you just keep hitting the Vanguard and depleting your opponent's hand. And last, Thunderbreak Dragon. I run 2 of them. It's a 10 case. Oh, that's the reason why I only run 2. It's not easy to guard it. But, naturally, use it with Rai in the rear guard or even the Vanguard circle for even more guarding. Same here. And naturally it's got the generic 5k limit break boost. So after you hit 4 damage, this thing kind of becomes obsolete and this thing becomes better, but yeah, that's basically how it is. Overall, I've been using Narukami for a while and won several tournaments with it, and this is the deck that resulted after so many weeks and tests. So I think this deck has a fairly good chance of being pretty competitive after winning so many tournaments. Anyway, that's my deck profile for Narukami, Vermillion Aggro. See you guys, hope you enjoyed it.